Hey everybody, welcome to this month's question of the month. It comes from Beatriz, and remember, if you've got a question you'd like me to answer, go to yoganatomy.com/my-question. Hi David, I have a special difficulty with Parivrtta Parsvakonasana because it doesn't feel stable, and I've been wondering why for years. I have good torsion of the trunk and femur and humerus, somewhat short in relation to the trunk. Also, anteversion of the pelvis and femurs rotated inward, Virasana, Garudasana, Tiryanmukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, etc. are comfortable for me. I think if it would be better for me to support my hand further forward than the foot in a vertical from the shoulder to the ground and not extend to the foot as they usually tell me. Although in this way, I put aside the stability that placing shoulder next to the knee. Not having enough stability there, I am not able to place my back foot with the heel resting inwards. Anyway, if you could help me, I would be very grateful. I read your articles with great interest because I always learn. Thanks for being there. Okay. All other stuff aside, I'm trying to imagine your Parivrtta Parsvakonasana in my mind, and the imagining that I have is what I often see, which is the hips are too high, the front knee's not bent enough, and the back foot is across the center line of the posture. In my book, Functional Anatomy of Yoga, I have a complete breakdown of this posture with foot crossing and all this kind of stuff. So I would refer you or anyone else out there who's who needs assistance in this posture, you should definitely read that section. Okay, that's Functional Anatomy of Yoga. Now, the moment things start to feel unstable in a standing posture, the first place to look is at the foundation, meaning how are you setting up your feet? Okay? In this case, the hand is on the floor. That is definitely part of the foundation, and it may be that it needs to move a little bit further forward or back, depending on the situation. But what typically happens in this posture is, one, everybody takes that Parsvakonasana, the side angle pose, and then they twist themselves to put the hand on the floor. And in order to do that, what happens often is as you go down, the hips go up. And so you see this line from the legs and then a different line from the torso. That's what I mean by hips up. So leg, here's the hip. Hip is higher than the rest of the body as it goes out this way, which typically means that the front knee is not bent enough. Okay, that's that part. That's just that part of it. Personally, I recommend putting the knee on the floor to get the hand flat on the floor. That's kind of separate, but related. The bigger problem, and I think this is where this one is going wrong for you, what's a combination? One is, I have a feeling your front knee is too straight, not bent 90 degrees. The second one is the way you've set it up with your feet, coming back to foundation now, is that when you try to turn your foot, here's your front foot, your back foot is across, which is going to pull your hips out and going to make it harder to ground your hand and all that stuff, and it lifts your hip higher. So what I'm going to suggest to you is you double check that back foot. You take that back foot out here. So the heel, sort of inner heel is lined up. It can be, I'm not saying this is wrong or right. Depends on your body. And if you have generally more internally rotated hip joints, which is what you kind of alluded to here with all of these, Garudasana, Virasana, Tiryanmukha, all being easier, and it might be a little bit harder for you to do external rotation, all the more reason to have that foot a little bit wider. Okay, that is probably going to help this. Just double check that foot placement, bend the front knee a little bit more so the energy of the posture sinks down a little bit. Okay? Give that a try. You can always send us an email. Let us know if that helped, or put a comment in the video. Okay? All right. Anybody else? If you've got a question, go to yoganatomy.com/my question. I'll answer it here on video.